By my neighbor from Pennsylvania, Senator Fetterman. Good to see you. Welcome. You're recognized.
Thank you. Thank you, Senator. Chairman, hi, welcome. Thank you for coming today. Just kind of set the stage here. Pennsylvania. Dr. Sullivan, how do wetlands in Pennsylvania impact our drinking water?
Wetlands in Pennsylvania and everywhere are critical in purifying water, and they do actually have three really important pieces to that. They trap sediment, so they remove sediment out of the water. They remove nutrients, so nitrogen, phosphorus, those types of nutrients, and they detox the water, so they take chemicals out. In doing that, they reduce a huge expense to the taxpayer of purifying water. So they do that in Pennsylvania, absolutely. They do that across the country, and they do that in a way that is 24/7. They work full time.
So because of the wetland, that is an impact on clean water, right?
Correct.
Gosh, I find clean water useful often. It's remarkable.
Well, I can say in all my years, I've never.
I think it's, I support clean water. So we have the situation here. The Supreme Court believes that unlimited money is speech, and they believe that women's in this nation aren't entitled to reproductive freedom. And now they attack the Clean Water Act as well too. Again, the shocking opinion that clean water might be useful to Americans. Now, do you believe that this is now based on the politics, or is it because of a very careful, thorough, scientific kind of review?
Sackett got the science all wrong, and that's what I can say. The science is crystal clear. It's not confusing, right? The chemical, physical, biological integrity, which is the goal of the Clean Water Act, of downstream and downslope waters, relies on wetlands and streams, and so it's virtually impossible to restore and maintain the health of waters and uphold the primary goal of the Clean Water Act while only protecting adjoining waters.
Yeah. Now, look, I'm no scientist. Our friends in Fox News don't even think I should be a senator. But to me, personally, it just seems like it's really kind of an extreme, right-wing kind of deregulation, obsessed that the Supreme Court, and I believe that it puts Pennsylvania's drink water at risk. Could you explain that to me as a non-scientist?
Explain how it puts it at risk?
Yeah, please.
Yeah. So removing wetlands, removing streams from the landscape, now I understand they're not protected, and people are saying that, well, just because they're not protected, there are other mechanisms potentially that are there, but history tells us a very different story. We arrived at a place where we had already lost 50% more of our wetlands across the country. It's only through legislation like the Clean Water Act that we actually can.
More than 50%, I want to read, more than 50% of our critical wetlands.
More than 50% of wetlands have been lost historically. That rate continued until the Clean Water Act, until legislation came that then started to slow down wetland loss. And so, unfortunately, history tells us there's no evidence to suggest that that's going to change unless we protect wetlands, set the standard for protection nationally and across the floor. So I think that's really critical. And I would say too that the U.S. public agrees. There's a poll in the New York Times that 72% of American adults believe the Clean Water Act should be read broadly to include wetlands and not only major streams, rivers, and lakes.
Yeah, I believe clean water is cool, and we need it. And I think that's kind of our job to make sure we want to protect that as well too. And it's truly bizarre to me personally that anybody would attack the kind of legislation that has been a demonstrative kind of dramatic kind of change in our water quality, right? Is that accurate?
I know it's absolutely accurate. And can I add one small piece there? Is that, I think as we think about these, and I brought this up earlier, are we asking the right questions? In my humble opinion, we should be aligning with the science first. And then once we have that set, then decide how do we use water responsibly within that context.
Oh, so wait, you're suggesting that we follow the science?
I am absolutely suggesting that we follow the
Lunacy.
science.
Lunacy.
Just like when we go to the physician, we want them to follow the best medicine
Okay,
for our
well,
health.
anyway, thank you for joining, and I apologize for going over, Chairman. Thank you.
Not at all. We're glad you're here. Thanks. Senator Capito.
Well, I think I'd like to ask